I'm in the track planning portion of my module project, and I'm going to show you how I did it and why I hate it so much. Hi, I'm Tom Kvichak, and we're on the module project doing the track plans. And this is the hardest part of the project for me because I really hate track planning. I started out with an idea and looked at everything on the module, placed all tracks and turnouts and everything in buildings, silhouettes of buildings that I wanted to put on there, and I got a good idea of what I wanted. And then I sketched it out on the paper. And then I went to the track planning software. I'm using the free version of SCARM right now just to get a basic idea of where the tracks and where the turnouts are going to be and how much flex track I'm going to need and just the location of the buildings. And that took the longest, and it was the most aggravating part of it, and let me show you why. Now this is just the basic track plans. I don't have any layers, any elevations on it, any buildings on it yet. And this is just a rough draft of what I want for the track plan. And my goodness, let me show you what I had to go through. Here you have the entire length of the module. From here all the way over is 16 foot. It's 2 foot wide. And I didn't draw in the city part, which is another approximately 2 foot down and 2 foot wide over here. But as you can see, I have the different colors on here. This one right here is the main line, and it runs right down the center. And I'm not keeping it straight. I'm kind of curving it a little bit. And you can see the gray track right here is the sidings where I have the building flats. More building flats all the way down there. The yellow track is for the ice house and the ice rack. And I got 2 tracks there. And the blue is a team track and the spur for the coal and sand. So as you can see, I have this pretty well up to what I want it right now. This area right here is going to be water close by. That's where the dock house will be, and we'll have a road coming across the track, maybe a dirt road coming across the track from those industries over there along the side all the way down to the end. The hardest part of all of this, and what really made me aggravated, was trying to match up all the turnouts and everything that was in between. As you can see on this menu on the left, you could choose different libraries for different manufacturers of track. And I'm using Pico on this, but you could go over to Atlas to get the bumpers for on the end, which I'm going to show you how I got it right here. We'll just set it on top of the track right there, and see, it just automatically puts it right there. And then we'll go back to using Pico again. We'll save this and expand this out so you can see the entire module on here. You'll remember in previous videos that I showed you the steps that I went through just to figure out what I wanted. And let me show you a few clips from that. Let me bring this back a little bit to give you a bird's eye view of it, a drone view. And basically this is what it's going to look like. If you can see past the paper right here. But this is the main line, and these are the sidings over here. Come all the way back. I'm going to have double track over here for the ice house. I may be able to put some other stuff over here. And this is where everything comes back together on the other end of the sidings. So, and this is 12 foot out right there. So that's what we got so far. And we'll be doing a little bit more updates on this. As I got further along in the process, it became a little bit easier to visualize everything since I had the buildings in place, the outlines of the other buildings, and just some pictures of some of the buildings that I was going to build. It became a lot easier to visualize everything. That was the easy part of it. Now let me get to the part where it's sketching. Now the sketching part of it is not too hard. Whatever you write down, you could erase or do over. So that gave me the building blocks to visualize what I needed so I could put it on the computer in SCARM. So I thought. I first laid out all the turnouts, just to get an idea of where they are on the module. And then I tried to put them in place so I could align them. And that's where the problem comes in with the alignment of it, because what you think that you have aligned up and looks pretty close to where you think it might be, it not exactly works all the time for you. And you'll see what I mean when I start placing a piece of flex track up here, like right here, and try to bend it into place, and you'll see that it's not quite working the way I want it to. So you have to go back, and it automatically put in a radius in there because maybe I just let go of the mouse click just a little bit, and it created an angle in there. So I'm going back and try to readjust it and put another piece of flex track in there. And boom. And that one, it hit it. So just to get those two aligned up like I wanted it, see how long that took. But then what you have to do, and I'm just making like an 18-inch radius curve. Now we try to get the rest of the turnouts aligned up, and when you got a straight shot like that, it's not too hard. But once we get going on this, and I'm not going to go put you through the whole thing, but as you can imagine, if you have to make any adjustments on where the turnout is, or even the tracks that you have to move around as a whole, say your siding's a little bit off and you need to put it closer to the wall, you have to move all of your track and your turnouts as a unit closer to the wall. So it becomes a hassle, and it just takes a long time of trial and error and doing things over and over again, trying to get the right angle on everything to get your turnouts to match up. Now with the flex track, it makes it easy, but what's making it a little bit difficult for me here is because I'm not using any straight lines on the main line coming in. So everything's on a curve. So it's not easy to line up. If I just had everything parallel, all the tracks parallel to each other, it might make it a little bit easier, but the way I'm doing it here, it's not that very easy. And as you could see, just to try to get a track in there that's straight takes a while to get it to go straight where you want it to actually go. Don't get me wrong, track planning software is very good. The only bad part about it is the learning curve and trying to get the pieces in the position that you want, because you have to continually move them, turn them, rotate them, make them shorter, make them longer, move them out, move them in, just to get it to fit right. Once you get that down pat, you could breeze through it, but it's the initial part of that, trying to figure out how to get those turnouts in there, trying to get the flex track to match up with it, and lining up everything in the position that you want it. In this track plan, I know my turnouts are in the wrong place. I might have to move them up, move them back, but this is just the beginning. This is just my initial one. I'm going to go a little bit further with it. I'm going to try it in AnyRail, in the free version of AnyRail, and once I get the hang of which one I like better as far as the features in it, then I'll probably go with the paid version of it and use that one to finish up the track plan. But for right now, that's where we are, and that's what I hate about doing the track plan. Yuck. And until the next time, we'll see you.